Let's kick it off, guys. Welcome to episode three. We've also successfully named this podcast, myself and Lee, during the week. We are going to be called the Men Without Masks podcast. As you know, if you've listened to the last two episodes, we're going to be talking about all things health, fitness, self-development, and just be leaders and be vulnerable in the challenges that the modern man faces in Ireland and all around the globe, right? Not excluding anyone else. So, Men Without Masks, that's us. As always, if there's any particular topics that you want us to talk about and lead and be vulnerable with and just help others by talking about these topics and normalizing them or improving ourselves through health and fitness, please let us know. Our Instagram page is also set up and the YouTube is set up, so contact us through any of those channels or me and Lee's Instagram. That's a waffle. It's quite an intro. Anyway,
It
it
is.
is, isn't it? That was off the cuff as well, I'll have you
But
know.
it's better. It's better than. Well, why didn't you buy my supplements?
Yeah.
I say use the special code.
Yeah,
here's the
Men
discount
Without
code.
Masks.
And now for the ads, Gatorade. No. Right, lads. Episode three, we're blessed to have Gaz Burtenshaw. We met Gary through a mutual business mentorship. Gary's a fellow Irish man running a seven-figure online health and fitness business, one of the fastest growing in the space at the minute, and he's blessed us with his time today. So, as you know, guys, over the last couple of episodes, we've talked about things like men drifting, lowering their standards, losing their edge. But Gary, you've gone the complete opposite direction. You've touched on your story in Dubai when me and Lee were with you at the business event. So instead of the usual "who are you" question, I'd love to ask you and start off by saying, who have you had to become to build the life that you are living right now? Let's start there.
I've thought about this for like when Lee sent me on a couple of kind of what these guys want to discuss, and the one recurring thing that comes to me, and it's interesting that you said men without masks. In the simple terms, I became a man. So like that's who I have become to live the life that I live and the life that I'm currently enjoying. Uh, so when I think of a man for me, I don't think of current men at the moment. When men were men 40 years ago, a man worked hard. That's what he did. He didn't let his emotions control him. He didn't let his mood dictate what he did for the day. He got up, he got shit done. He was a provider. That's what he did, and that's where I view myself now as. I am a provider. I don't have a family, but I am a provider for my team. For me, a man, his word is his bond. I think that's gone in today's day and age. Men just like to continuously talk nonsense and don't follow through. But to become where you want to be that man, live that life, that has to be the value that you have. When you say you're going to get something done, you need to like move mountains to get that done.
Follow through on your word. Yeah, we touched on
100%.
that last week. You know, just kind of having that self-efficacy and self-trust that when you say you're going to do something, you follow through and do it. Even if you don't do it 100%, right? If you say you're going to train today, right? There's a recurrent theme as well, Lee, because every Wednesday when we have this podcast, I only get to train for about a half an hour, right? Compared to 90-minute or 2 hour training sessions other days. But I'm always proud coming onto the podcast because I trained for the half an hour that I had today. That was literally all I had. I had 45 minutes, but I did it, right? So I said I was going to do it, and I did it. But if you keep telling yourself you're not going to do it, or if you keep telling yourself that you're going to do it and then you don't, it's going to impact your self-trust, your self-efficacy, your confidence in completing a task, and that can be destructive, mindset to get into. So love it, man. Well done to you there.
But 100% it is like you don't have self belief if you don't believe a word out of your own mouth. Like how can you have self belief? Like that's the
Yeah.
question I always say to people is, oh, you want self belief? Well, you've told yourself you're going to go to the gym on Monday morning. Every Monday morning, you hit that snooze button. You don't go to the gym. So if you don't have self belief because you don't even believe in yourself, your brain knows you're lying. Like you're not lying to anybody but this. So that's like it's insane what people think.
Yeah, I love it.
And on top of that as well, is something interesting I learned a couple of months ago, really. But our brain, the same reward signaling fires talking about goals. And what we want to achieve as actually achieving them. And that's why, as like, and there's studies to back it up as well. I was blown away by it. But that's why people will talk and they'll talk and they'll talk. And like, we all know people, past and present, like friends, family, clients, whatever it is, that they're talkers, right? We all know talkers, and there's never any follow through. But they're getting, from what I've read, the same dopamine effects, the same reward system signaling by just talking about these goals. So ultimately, you can actually trick your brain into thinking that that's all that's needed. I'm building on just what you mentioned there about the conditioning behind it.
Oh, I'd 100% believe it. Because like at the end of the day, if you talk about like going on a big holiday, I get excited.
Of course.
So talking about like changing your life, I'm fucking buzzed. So yeah, why not? Like, yeah, 100% believe that.
Love it. Right, next one for you, Gary, then is in alignment with the same question, right? Give us the turning points in your story where things actually started to change for you.
This is gonna take a depressing turn. I've struggled with mental health all my life. I didn't know I had depression until I got diagnosed with depression when I was 31. Depression wasn't a thing 20 years ago. I used to work in the mines, so for anybody who doesn't know, that's fly in, fly out. Basically, you fly into the middle of Australia, you live there for 2 weeks, you work on a mine site for, say, 12-hour days. And then basically you fly back to Perth and you make a load of money, and then you do a fuck ton of stupid things, just go drinking and you do a load of drugs, and then you go back to work, and that's the cycle I got into. It was a self-destruct cycle that I was on, and when I was 31, it nearly destructed me. I nearly made a stupid mistake. I had an episode that involved me basically calling my mother. There was 2 outcomes. It was to say goodbye, I was going to kill myself, or it was, I need help. I can't live anymore. Lucky enough, the sound of a voice and the freight of a voice was enough to me to know I have to live. So for me, that was where I realised that I can't live the life that I'm currently living. Something has to change. Like when I told my mom, like, the fear in her voice will haunt me for the rest of my life. So that was, I will never ever want to put her through that ever pain again. So that for me is that driving factor of that, what I want to do with my life is that I have to turn it around, because I put her through that much pain, which she never deserved to. She is the most amazing woman in the world, but through so much pain through a decision that I was going to make stupidly, now that I think back at it. So that was
Huge.
That was it.
Huge.
Yeah.
First, I just want to acknowledge and just thank you, man, from the bottom of my heart for being vulnerable and being honest. This is what it's all about, man. Really. Like, we might get 10, 20 people listening to this episode, but you know, you could have had a major impact on what you just said there, man. You're a leader, you know, so thank you. Honestly, that's amazing. So
And that's where I like, I'm a big mental health advocate, obviously. I especially, and then my main focus when I first got into this was just mining lads. I just needed to help people up north, because I'm not the only person up there. If you look at suicide statistics up north, it's horrendous. 1 in 8 Australians die every single week by their own hand. Australia is in a really bad way in terms of mental health. There's a page, anyone whoever is struggling, called Better Blokes Project in Australia. I have a follow with the lads, absolutely brilliant. They talk, it's kind of similar to this. They talk about life and stuff like that. But my goal was, okay, if I can help one person not go through what I went through, that's like worth it for me.
great purpose. It's a great purpose. Yeah, again, it can't be undervalued, you know. So I'm going to say it again, Gary. Honestly, thank you, honestly, for being open, for leading, and this is what it's all about, guys. You know, conversations like this is the stigma that we're trying to break. You know, you talked about the statistics in Australia. I don't have them off the top of mind, but the three of us know. You know, certain populations, you know, young males in Ireland, statistically, a lot of them do face the same outcome or the same challenges, right? And so if we can do anything and help one person with that, this is what this is all about. So amazing, Gary.
100%.
So
100%.
Lee,
Absolutely.
do you want to add anything onto that, brother, before I follow up?
Yeah, there's one thing, right? With having been to like to the bottom of the barrel, essentially, how have you found it shaped life and the hardships you have faced to get to where you've got to ultimately today? From my own experience, again, because I've had my bad times, there's nothing I come across now that compares. So yeah, there's shit times that come along, but it's like, right, it's the outcome, even the worst outcome in those scenarios are still a hell of a lot better than what the worst outcome could have been once upon a time.
100%, and this is what I advise every single person. I don't even care if you're struggling from depression or not. Go speak to a therapist. Honestly, I speak to a therapist. She lives down in Sydney. I do video calls with her every so often. Like when I first moved to Thailand, I really struggled with a lot of shit, and she was like my rock for months. I was so afraid because I was like, what do I do? What do I just? I'm a lad. I don't talk about my fucking.
A man
feelings.
talking about his feelings.
I'm not gonna sit on the fucking couch and tell me, oh. But like, because like for me, it's like people go to therapy and they have these horror trauma stories. Like I came from like a good family. My mother was the most amazing woman in the whole world. Like I didn't struggle. I went to a good school. I played soccer. I had friends. I wasn't drama. So I was like, what can I sit on the couch and be like? Tell me like, why am I trying to kill myself? So that for me was like going to her, and now it's like they don't cure you. They give you the tools to help.
Absolutely.
With tasks. So when I feel myself, and I will then, and work is my worst thing, and because once I start getting in my own head, that's when, weirdly enough, I go deeper into work. And I'll do like 15, 16, 17 hour days constantly. That's where I do like my best work. Because I'm
Cash a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid what's going on in my head. But it's recognizing them patterns and getting ahead of them before they come into play. And then like 100% of these says, like, at the end of the day, you getting up at 5 o'clock, compare that to ringing your mother and telling that you want to commit suicide. What's harder? Mm. Puts life into perspective very, very quickly.
It's massive, and like with the therapy, I'll echo that as well, because I spent a year working with a mental performance / therapy, and it was the best year I ever did. Up to that point, like it was, I was in the middle kind of year 2 or 3 of opening the gym. On the outside, as it does, life looked fantastic. Business is going well, not more money than I could handle, but more than I'd ever had. But then the unhappiness was the highest it's ever been. You know what I mean? And something had to change. And same as yourself, I was like, right, well, I know there's shit wrong. I'm fucking well aware of it, but I don't really want to go and talk to anyone about it. And I remember that first session I did, it was a game changer. And I actually remember about halfway through the sessions, and this sounds a bit stupid, but I had like recurrent shoulder issues for like a fucking year beforehand. Halfway through that session, I just felt the shoulders drop, and it felt like they dropped a mile, right? Yeah. Never came back, and I actually left. That one session was a turning point for me. Did it for a year, and that was what put me on kind of the path that I ended up going on, breaking away from everything I kind of knew. And similar to yourself, it's like now it's like, yeah, shit times come along, and if there's one thing you can be sure of, that there will be plenty of them. But having that perspective, it just doesn't really shake you so much.
No,
massive. I'm loving it, lads. We're 10 minutes in or something like that, and we're all,
there's gonna be tears next.
Ooh, I love it. We gotta start doing this in person, because Men Without Hugs. That's our
5-hour long episode.
Right, we're going to rebrand this Men Without Hugs, and we're all just going to move to Dubai, and we're going to be Men with Hugs in person. That's what we're going to do. But yeah, just to add to the therapy roundtable that's happening naturally here is a beautiful thing. I'm delighted to hear that you were, Gary, and Lee, that you were as well. And for the record, I did as well. One of the most powerful. You never forget it, lads, will you? You'd never forget your first therapy session. I don't think you ever forget any of them. You're just like, wow, this is incredible. I went a few times, once by myself and once with Becky for different reasons, and just the perspective shifting that you get. You know what I mean? It's incredible. Again, anyone that's listening to this, again, a big goal for me is just to normalize that. My nearest and dearest know that I'm a big advocate for therapy. So if you've never gone, and if you do struggle mentally or emotionally, if you find yourself that your fuse is a bit shorter than usual, if you go through periods like that, just have a therapist in your network. Of 3 therapists in my network that I could refer anyone to at any one time, or I can go to myself. So just please normalize it. It's great to see and hear that the 3 of us are normalizing it right now. But if you're listening to this, wherever you are in the world, same thing. There's 3 big bold men telling you it's one of the best things that they've ever done. So this is one of the things that has to change in Australia and Ireland, if you ask me. You know,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, for sure.
One for you, Gary. Go on,
And
Lee, you go first.
no, go for it. Go for it.
Gary, I'm just interested in, your story is absolutely amazing there, and again, I'm blown away by how vulnerable you are. I'm so grateful for that. What triggered the shift? When you were in your darkest couple of hours, right, and those thoughts were going through your head. One thing that you mentioned is, your mother's voice. You just never wanted to put her through that again, and you never wanted to feel that again. Was the kick up the ass, to change your habits, the thoughts of not putting your mother through that or someone you love through that again, or was it more for yourself? So basically, my question is, was the purpose for you, or was it for someone else, or was it kind of a mix of both? What do you think?
It was both, because like when you do that to someone who is like, we all love our mother to 2 pieces, they are our world, our rocks. Like, I'm 38 years of age and like she still makes my doctor's appointment to go back to Ireland. Like, that's what it is. Like, that's what it is. She's a mammy, I'll always be a son.
Yeah,
So
I love it.
it was that, and it was for myself, because all through my life I've always been around people, but I never felt like I really belonged there. Now again, that was never to anybody who was around me. That was just what was going inside my head. So I knew I had to, one, never put her through that, because now I've come to the realization that I actually am wanted, which was something that I never felt up until that. And after that, I was okay, right, now that I know I'm wanted, if I look back at my last 10 years, I did the Australia from 21 to 30 till this incident. It was mainly a self-destruct, drinking Thursday to Monday to Tuesday sometimes. I was the guy you called when you wanted to go on a piss on a Wednesday night, because I'd happily, fuck it, let's get fucked up. That's what I did. So I was okay, in my eyes, I had wasted 10 years of my life not doing what I wanted to do, just trying to fit in with people. So I was like, now from 30 to 40, I made a promise to myself. I was like, these are my years. Whether I'm on my own for the next 10 years, or whether I have a group of people around me who I feel are in a place where I belong, these are my years, these are my terms, and this is what I'm doing for the next 10 years. So
It's
we're
amazing.
kind of both ends of the barrel.
Love it. No, fair play, man. Last one from me, Lee, and then you can take it away, bro. Um, going through a period, right? I think it's me and Lee touched on it. Not everyone goes into the drinking and the rest, right? In Ireland or Australia, but a lot of people do, right? Male adolescents in both countries, I feel. It's almost super normalized in society nowadays. But we know that alcohol is normalized, right? But other substances that we know is not good for our mental health if you're exposed to it for long enough or frequent enough. When you were going through that phase, Gary, what do you think you were avoiding, if you were avoiding anything?
I know I was on a mission to kill myself. When I look back now, like, I did, for my 30th birthday, I took 5 weeks off work. I did Ultra Croatia, Tomorrowland, flew home, picked up my mate, went to Vegas for 10 days, went to LA, San Francisco, and up to New York. And for that 5 weeks, I drank and did cocaine every single night. I was on, if this doesn't kill me, like, what do I have to do to die? Like, I was on a massive, and only through therapy that came to the realization. In my head at the time, I was Jack the lad. I was working in mining. Back in the day, it's a little bit different now. You were cash rich with mining. You earned a fuck ton of cash. I used to do 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks in a row. Again, fucks with your mental health, because you're literally in isolation for 9 weeks. Then I take 7, 8 weeks off and go fucking AWOL. Come back to work, go back into your fucking role, go back into your prison cell up in sight, do the same thing fucking all, work as much as you can, jump on the next plane off, fucking off you go again.
So what was the biggest learning, when you went to therapy? What was the kind of aha moment, and what was the tools and the skills that you were taught then to help with that and ultimately come out of that phase?
It's normal. And I know that sounds strange, but you're not supposed to feel happy all the time.
Mm.
Yeah.
But like nobody's happy all the time. Like it's okay to not want to go to work. It's okay not to. Obviously, there's levels to the wanting, but the main thing she told me is just take it a task by task. Don't look at your big day ahead of you. Sit down and okay, right, what do I have to do? Right, let's just get up and brush your teeth. Let's just fucking do that. That's fucking easy. Okay, I'll get up and brush teeth. Okay, what's next? I'll make breakfast. Instead of having the protein-rich breakfast that I usually have, let's just have a fucking bowl of Cocoa Pops. But that is depression for me, or depression, how it was broken down to me. It's you get so anxious over things that don't happen, and then your brain can't process it. So your brain gets confused about what's real and what's not real, and then it just starts like basically eating itself. So for me, it was the other side of the thing as well. For me, is that my actually testosterone levels were rock bottom. I was put on TRT at 30. Her first thing when I met her was, okay, we need to get your hormone levels tested. So it was a chemical thing for me, plus the mindset thing, because this is how I live my life.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Powerful, man. It's last sentence for me, then, Lee, and I'll stop hogging the mic here, i.e. earphones. It's just, if anyone's watched the first two episodes, you've noticed now episode 3, Lee has upstaged me here and got himself a fancy microphone. But I got paid today, so yeah. I'm going to get a bigger one. I joke. But yeah, about your story, Gary, is I loved how your therapist said, it's normal to go through downs, periods of being down, obviously, and that's normalized. But also one of the tools that she gave you, or he gave you, was just do one simple task, right? Do the next simple thing, and if that's overwhelming, shrink it down until you have the confidence to go do the thing. And then when you go do the thing, what most males and most individuals don't do is give yourself a little pat in the back for that little thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's huge in behavior change, massive. But not enough people do that. They really miss that part. No, I just brush my teeth. What do I give myself? No, but that is the trick. You're just teaching the nervous system. You're getting that little positive chemicals. Yeah, hey, you know what? Yeah, I did that. Yeah, no, well done. Yeah, I do respect myself for that. I told myself I was going to brush my teeth, and I brushed my teeth. It can't be as simple as that. It can't. And then you do the little task after little task, and you just repeat that process over time. And then the next thing, you're starting a podcast. You know what I mean? And we're not three gurus. You know what I mean? But that's how it starts. So brush your teeth.
Yeah, completely agree with that.
Brush your teeth, lads.
Atomic Habits is a great
That's the one.
book of that. Like habits, like
That's the one.
that's what you're doing. You're not habits. You're just stacking positive tasks. So that cool. Right, I've did 5 things, and it's fucking 7:30. Amazing. How good my day going to be?
Love it. So yeah,
Well, it's massive because it's funny because
go on.
that's actually, I use that with a lot of my clients, especially in the early days when people are, as you know, anything new is overwhelming. It is just take it a day at a time. You don't need to focus on all these different things. And ultimately, it's the therapist I worked with, he said a very interesting thing. Your subconscious mind listens to what your conscious mind says. So if you're constantly talking negative, taking negative actions, you're actually conditioning yourself on a subconscious level to act that way as by default. But the same works in reverse. If you're constantly, again, you brush your teeth, you have a good breakfast, like you're stacking wins. So you're giving positive inputs to your brain. If you do that enough time after time, the default becomes the norm. And it's funny because that's what I do with clients as well. At the end of every day, I want them to find a win. It doesn't matter what it is. Some of them it could be, I had a great dinner, but that's all it needs to be. And day after day, all of a sudden stuff becomes autonomous. It becomes easy. The negative, I don't really focus on just eliminating the negatives in terms of kind of behaviors and such. For me, it's all about what can we add in that will eventually just phase out everything else to a degree.
Yeah, I love it, man.
It's massive. And building on what you said as well, Gary, so obviously when you hit that low point, you had to do a rebuild, right? Like you had to find a way out. Well, what standards do you feel you had to raise the most to get from that point to not only where you are now, but where you hope to go, but also things that most people probably wouldn't even consider, let alone do?
Slash responsibility. Like how many times have you is it Mel Robson says nobody's coming to save you? That's the truth. No one is coming to save you. You can wish, you can hope, you can fucking say prayer to St. Anthony, whoever fucking is the prayer of lost causes. That's just what
St. Padre Pio's getting about.
Absolutely. Yeah, so but that's what it is. But no one. That's you have to take responsibility for the choices that you made in life. I could sit here and go, do you know what? It wasn't my fault that I put my mother under that pressure. It was my fault. Instead of recognizing my destructive behaviors from 20 to 30, I ignored them and made them worse. So that's my responsibility. That's not how I was like. Whether having enough testosterone or not having enough testosterone, I made the conscious decision to get fucked up most weeks. And that's where a lot of people I find nowadays just refuse point blank to look at themselves and go, do you know what? Yeah, I'm in a shit storm at the moment, but it's not my fault. It's someone else's. At the end of the day, and this is what I'm a big fan of. I'm not sure who says it. It's your fault for absolutely everything. The successful business you're building, it's your fault. The shitty fucking weeks you have, it's your fault. The highs are your fault. The lows are just as well as your fault. You can't claim the highs if you're not willing to accept and claim the lows.
Extreme ownership.
I think that is exactly, but I think the world is set up to work against that actively day to day. Like, how often are you told if something goes wrong that truly it is your fault? You just need to buck up and figure it out. It's all this realm of kind of comfort and acceptance and normalizing it, I think, is the big issue. I know myself, like when I was younger, like I wouldn't have had those harsh lessons because life was good. It was well looked after, a great family life. It didn't stop me, same as yourself, going down the route I went ultimately. But the big thing again was taking that ownership, because if you hold yourself accountable to everything that kind of happens or doesn't happen to you, I find myself mentally a lot more able to manage, a lot more peaceful.
Yeah,
it's all in your control.
Because it's on you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, everything boils down to default. Are you going to do what's required to make the change? If you're not, then stop complaining about the fact of the life that you live. If you are, then it's time to put up your fucking socks and get the fucking work.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think I listened to a podcast a while back, and like everyone looks at people who are successful. It's like the guys will look at you. You look at people that are a level above you again. And it's like, well, how do you get there? It's just luck, it's ignorance, whatever you want to call it, right? But I think the big thing as well, and it's something that's really resonated with me, is for people who are on that level or level you want to reach, they're not just doing a small bit more than you. They're doing 5, 10, 100 times more daily, monthly, in every single aspect to get to that point. I also think as well, that's why most people don't get there, because they want the dream, they want the idea, but they don't want to suffer for years and have to put the head down and forgo all the easy things in life, life's comforts, the stuff that's pushing their faces kind of as successful as nearly possible.
Yeah. The being exposure to James was my eye-opener. I thought I did a lot. No, I don't.
Yeah.
No, I did not. You fucking for real?
Levels.
If that's what it takes. But that's the levels, and he's not the only one who in my circle now who I look and just go, fuck me, man. I think I'm looking. If I want to get to where they are, I've another level to fucking get up somehow. How do I do it? I don't know yet. That's what I'm trying to figure out. But my skill set has me where I am. If I want to go to the next skill set, like, I need to do a fuck ton more. And now I'm looking at myself going, do I have the capacity? I don't, but I have to find that capacity somehow if I want to achieve the things that I talk about achieving.
Quick one, just kind of off the record there. You have achieved a lot, Gary, especially since the origins of that story that we talked about at the start, and you have achieved an amazing achievement through your business and the purpose that you have now, right? Do you give yourself a pat in the back every now and again? Come on, brother.
Honestly, I'm currently in Like I'll be honest about my therapy stuff, because
Mm.
I have no problem being honest about my
Let's
fucking
go, bro.
brain. I'm in this constant destructive loop that I can't get myself out of. I set myself, this is what my therapist, I set myself ridiculously high targets, knowing full well I'll never achieve them, so I'll never give myself credit for achieving what I achieve. It's a horrible thing to be involved in,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's something that I'm currently working through to get in the position where I can finally say, like, I have a chip on my shoulder for somebody I've no idea who I'm trying to prove.
Mm.
Maybe I'm trying to prove myself at 20-year-olds that this is what you could have done, you dickhead.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just I have to get out. I'm in trying to figure out how to get out of this destructive loop. I can't have free time. I need to fill my free time with tasks to keep moving forward. And again, like, it's a habit that I'm trying to break out of. And as you said, like, it's I know how important it is to sit there and go, "Do you know what, man? Well done. Fucking
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant. You've done so well. You've done X, Y, and Z. You've done this, you've that, and the other." But will I give myself that time anytime soon? I like, hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing, man. Do you do any journaling, or do you do any gratitude? You know, the classics. You know, one to three things you're grateful for in the morning or the evening, or any journaling at all. Just brain dumping, as random as your fucking thought
Uh,
is, just putting on a page. Do you ever do that?
I tried it, but I'll be honest with you. I've just accepted the fact that my brain is my brain and it never switches off.
Yeah. I journal.
I
I've
don't like
journaled the
having free
last three and a
time.
half
I
years.
find it very.
Yeah, it's powerful, man. But the whole point of me,
I would love to be able to sit down in silence.
yeah, I hear
Mm.
you, man. The brain dumping is amazing for that. It really, really is. It's really, really helpful for that, you know. And as random as the thought is, man. I had one client one time who couldn't sleep, right? She was an Irish client, and when she was trying to go to sleep, you know, racing thoughts, very common when people trying to go to sleep. And one of her racing thoughts was, where's he going?
He'll be just on the punchline. He'll be back in, no doubt. Anyway, so he looks like you put him to sleep. For any for the one out of probably 10 people watching, this is the first actual technical glitch we've had. So
The timing was
we are
impeccable.
work.
That's
I'll
quality
fucking
content right there.
message and
That's
see.
that's content. We're not going to edit
Oh
that
well,
out.
I think we'll leave it. No. Just,
I'm crying.
it's funny though, just fucking touching on the journaling.
Oh, so good.
Touching on the journaling, man. I've done it for the last fucking 4 years. It was the best thing I ever did. I has to be. It's part of my nightly routine.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. I do it when I have like a big study or just a long list of tasks to do, you know, with the other job and working for Hinsa and connected coaching and yeah, clients, you know, trying to do it all, you know, and I used to get overwhelmed a lot. And what I've noticed is with everything going on in the Middle East right now, I'm getting 9 hour sleeps.
Welcome back.
That was the funniest thing of all time.
Like, if you don't agree with what Dave says, you just have to say it. You don't have to leave.
I missed it. I heard, the last thing I got was you do journaling for 3 hours. That's the last thing I got.
Anyway, listen, my point wasn't that valuable anyway. I don't even know. I don't even know if I should say that point again.
Oh,
Anyway,
fucking hell.
I'm going to try wrap this up in one sentence and then Lee, you can crack on with your next piece. But anyway, Gary,
Yeah.
please don't leave me like that again, bro. I'm hurt.
I'm sorry.
I'm
I'm
so,
very sorry. Just welcome to Thailand's stable internet connection.
yeah, and this girl couldn't sleep, and what she used to do was, anyway, she used to journal. That was the whole thing, guys, right?
Sleep. Yeah, but no, I don't. Like, as crazy as it sounds, I still wake up sometimes at night stressed that everybody's going to leave the company and I'm going to have no
Yeah,
business.
yeah, yeah. I hear you. But anyway, the gift that I want to give to you, bro, and these are just words, right? You know, it's not going to fix anything. Oh, I'm cured, you know, I'm aware of that. But, you know, whenever the thought comes into your head and you might think back to this conversation tomorrow or any other day, just remember to give yourself a pat on the back, brother, because, you know, me and Lee do look up to you and, you know, you are at the level that me and Lee would love to be at someday. So, you know, don't forget that and just know that you're a valuable human being. And you're changing people's lives every day, man. You change people's lives in the last 30 minutes, man. So Just whatever you need to do to give yourself a pat in the back, brother. Tell me this: what hand are you, right or left?
Right.
Right. You give yourself a pat in the back right now with me. Let's go. Come on, let's do it. I'm proud of you, man. No,
Well done.
I'm proud of you, legit.
No.
Yeah. No, I'm proud of you, man, legit. And you see that little positive change we got in your mindset there. You know, your light lit up there. You know what I mean? Just give yourself more of that, man.
That's what it's about.
So that's what it's about. So well done, bro. Right, Lee, you're up, brother.
I wouldn't have been that nice to you if you'd walked out with me anyway, that's for sure.
Jesus.
But
Ghosting you. See ya.
no, it was building. It's kind of just summarize like a lot of what we've just discussed there, and I'm pretty sure I know your answer to this. But do you think that right now most people are just too comfortable and that they actually do know what they need to do, but just actively avoid it?
100%. Like, and the proof is in the pudding with the absolute boost in the GPL1s, the Ozempics, the Retatrutide.
Yeah, massive.
Like, the body positive movement is the biggest fucking scam since fucking BCAAs or good health supplements. Like, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, we're all happy when we're overweight. Yeah, we're happy. The second you don't have to do the work, Lizzo shrinks down in size. Fucking Kelly Osbourne vanishes. All the fucking superstars who are, oh yeah, let's be happy about life when I'm overweight and I can't be healthy. Like, just, vanished? You just changed your mind all of a sudden? Like, that's the hypocrisy of the fitness industry that drives me up the fucking wall, to be honest with you.
So what do you think that comes down to then, Gary? Do
Right.
you think it's just the avoidance of hard work? Because obviously these individuals have worked very hard in their careers, and they're famous individuals that you just mentioned. But the health and fitness and going and training and stuff like that is a
But
different sensation of
that's
hard.
that's hard. That's like, to be honest with you, and as Lee brought up earlier, we have now, and like there's been like the crazy thing is, and if you look at the stats on it, obesity has skyrocketed in the past 20 years. Used to be, sugar is the devil. Our sugar consumption is at the lowest it's been in fucking decades. So tell me why obesity still skyrocketed if sugar's the issue. Do you know what the issue is? When we were fucking kids, and I don't have kids, so I'll obviously get backlash because you don't know how hard it is to raise a child. Shut up. When we were kids, on a Saturday fucking morning, my mother said, get the fuck out and play. I came home when the street lights came on and somebody somewhere fed me. Now we have to have organised play dates for half an hour where they sit in front of a PlayStation for fucking 4 hours. And they get fed bags of crisps. We've created a generation of comfort. Even if we wanted to get a chipper or a Chinese, for argument's sake, you used to walk down to the chipper at least to get it. So you get some exercise. Now you just go onto your phone and you have fucking super duper fucking 19-inch pizza within 4 minutes.
Especially here.
So, like, we don't, the simple, yeah. Like the Dubai, what's the thing in Dubai? Your 15
Yeah,
plus,
yeah, like you wouldn't believe, guys. Like you can have anything you want legally at your
like,
door in
grab
15
On your
minutes.
doorstep.
yeah, grab over here is the same. I can't believe how good grab is over here. Like, I
Yeah,
can
it's
literally order
fantastic.
anything at any given time and it arrives within, say, 10-15 minutes. Like, it's insane. And like, I was never a conspiracy theorist, and I'm not, but there's things that when you start to get to levels and you start to up your circle of who you're hanging around with, and then you get access to people at different levels, and then you find out, you start to really actually understand how the world works. And not to get into the conspiracy side of things, but the world is set up to keep you exactly where you are.
Yes, conformity overall.
Like, I don't want to go down the fucking old Euro conspiracy and they're a nut. Like, how many hours a day do people do in school? Like, how many bags of crisps do people go and buy in the shopping at the weekend? Like, people say we have a cost of living, or we have a cost of spending.
Yeah,
Like, the
massive.
pubs are still full with people drinking. Everybody's complaining about the price of petrol, but yet the pubs are still full on a Friday night.
And there's always new takeaways opening up in towns, non-stop.
So like we've built comfort by design. And it's very hard to break away from comfort. Like don't get me wrong, like I'm like a wannabe bodybuilder. I'm as strict as they fucking come in my food. But believe me, some days like I'm like itching for shite food. I'm just like, I just want a bar of chocolate. Like, just give me something. And I know now, I know now if I actually go down to 7-Eleven and buy the chocolate, I actually really want the chocolate. But it's like we just, and this is the other thing as well with Asia, and I'm sure you're the same position with Dubai. When I go into 7-Eleven, the first thing I don't see is 19 million chocolate bars and 47 different bags of crisps. The confectionery is down the side. It's not in
You
your
have to look
face
for it.
constantly. You have to go looking for it, like,
Yeah.
and it's taxed heavily. So like, I don't eat shit photo over here because one, the fresh food is so good, it's so cheap. So I don't look for shy food because when I walk it anywhere, I'm like, grand man, pineapple shake, yes, give it to me. But I find that when I go back to Ireland, I go into petrol and all of a sudden I'm picking up 2 bars of chocolate for £1, 2 bags of crisps with my fucking, and it's like, it's just because it's there.
Yeah.
They have you hooked on.
But the first, it's any shop you go into, the first things you'll see is fizzy drinks, chocolate, sweets, and the last thing you'll see is the exact same. The health section is actually often hidden, just like in Thailand where the sweets are hidden. The health section in most supermarkets here are hidden. You have to go look for it. I don't know how many times over the past 2 weeks I've been walking around Little Aldi's looking for apple cider vinegar of all things. I could not find it. Yeah, it's crazy, like.
We are, it's set up unfortunately, but I do think, again, we'll go back to the starting. People have to hold themselves accountable and say, okay, right, you know what, I really fucking want that. But like, let's go back to what we chatted about. What's the cost? Like, yeah, okay, right, you either want this or you really want to be fit and healthy. Like, do you want to be there? Like, as horrible as it sounds, I had a conversation with a client about 6 months ago. A father with 2 kids, and he was 128 kilos, and he's 5'7". So like heavily obese. Fucked around for a while, and I pulled him up and I said, "Listen, mate," I said, "I'm gonna be blunt with you." I said, "You do not love your kids or your family." And he said, "What you mean?" He says, "I was like, tell me how you love your kids." He said, "I fucking love my kids." I said, "What? So you love your kids, you want to protect your kids. If you continue to go down the route you're going down, you're going to end up in a hospital bed. They're going to have to visit you either with tubes coming out of your fucking face or your dead body, because that's the road you're going for the next 5 years. So don't sit here and tell me you love your kids when you're going to put them through hell looking at your body on a hospital bed, either dead or full of fucking tubes because you had a heart attack." Now,
Yeah.
didn't speak to me for 4 weeks, but came back and was like, "Gaz, you're 100% right. I have to do this for them." And now he has the same thing of rock bottom. Now, every time I pick up a bag of chips or a bag of shit, I look, my kids are more important than this little fucking happy snack I'm going to eat. And that's what I think for most people at the start. You have to find something that what you're doing for this. I want to lose
100%.
5 kilos. Nobody wants to lose fucking 5 kilos. Like, you want to lose it for a particular reason. And you know this psychology, the 5 whys. Like, find that thing that gets you out of bed in the morning. Like, adults, men, you have kids, surely you want to go down to the footy field and kick the ball around. Like, surely you want that to be part of your day. Surely you don't want to be sitting there just drinking constantly around your kids. And like, I'll say as well, like, we all coach lads, and we'll talk about like the amount of times I've got lads into incredible shape and their sex life has went through the roof because their wife looks at them totally different now. Like, that's, again, you want to have fucking better fucking sex or you want to have a packet of crisps, that's your choice.
Love, security, and status.
But
if you
that's
want
it. Like, it links back to being a man, like.
Yeah, but you want to come home and want your wife to be like, or your girlfriend go, get up fucking stairs, you cunt. That's the choices you have to put down the bag of crisps. And get stopped to comfort. And like, as we go back to the start of the conversation, like be the man that you told her you would be when you marry her. Or whatever you fucking.
And that's powerful as well.
Yeah.
Massive.
George, I'll just jump in nearly. I don't know if you have another one, but you know, I love the conversation around purpose. You know, everyone's kind of getting that vibe, I would say, listening to us the last 3 hours, the last few weeks. But you know, I had to use it again on Monday. You know, one client of mine, you know, we're very good at shrinking the task down to whatever it is. Okay, you're going to do this. Okay, when are you going to do it? Okay, this day. What time is this day? Okay, you're coming from work. Visualize it for me. Okay, where's the clothes? There they are. Are they set up from the night before? Yeah. What time are you going to do that? 7 p.m. the night before. All right, sweet. Boom, boom, boom. Blah. Everything's done. 3 times a week, I'll do this at this time. It's going to be on the up in the app. You said it. Like, 100%. This person chose this themselves. So I'm honoring their own autonomy. So we're just like, right, chances of success are high. Confidence interval, they were 10 out of 10 confident they were going to do it. They were sleeping really well the last 2 weeks, for other weeks they weren't. So we're very confident going in. Check in call on Monday, didn't do it once. Not once, and blah, blah, blah. Now, lo and behold, she was sleeping very, very poorly again, right? So we know that when she goes through weeks like that, it's often just that, right? But we also just had to revisit purpose because she was starting to beat herself up. You know what I mean? "Ah, well, I just didn't do it once, whatever, blah, blah, blah." So we done, right, bit of identity stuff, 5 whys, made a mantra, and it just came back to this individual really wanted to be invited to more places with their friends and family. Sorry, not she was invited to certain places, but she wanted to have the power of the choice to say yes because so she wasn't self-conscious in herself, right? For what purpose? To go and be there for important people in her life, like her husband, her children, her friends, because she knows she's good at those roles. She goes, I am a good friend, I'm a good mother, I'm a good wife, but I'm saying no to opportunities and spending time together because I'm conscious, right? But we haven't talked about that in a year and a half, right? She told me stuff like that when we first started. We just had to do that little revisit. So when the purpose is bigger than the pain and emotional discomfort of you doing it or not, you just got to remember that purpose. It's just like, right, am I going to jump on the walking pad or am I going to watch another episode of whatever you're watching on Netflix, right? And you just got to have a mantra, have some sort of reminder that, no way, I'm doing this because this will be the difference between me having the confidence and time to go to that boat with my family and friends, and we're going to make special memories together. So when I'm gone, my daughter will have that memory of me. I was there. Not because I was at home and she was there and she didn't have the memory because I was self conscious of myself to do it in the first place. So the purpose has to be bigger than the pain of the effort, right?
100%.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
100%.
So you got to uncover that.
But I think but that's the issue. It is uncovering it, and like I'll actually just touch on the sleep and the tiredness aspect because my sleep has never been great. It's always been fairly miserable, to be honest. Obviously, that's one of the big things I see with a lot of people. But I don't think being tired is an excuse because reality is, you're going to get what you need to get done anyway. You know what I mean? So why not just be tired and get what you need to get done? The only thing that changes the word doesn't come, but the emotions you're tying to it, right?
Yeah.
Like when it's good, it's easy. It always is. But like, you're going to be the same level of tired at the end of your day, whether you go for a workout or probably sit on the couch and watch TV. So why not go and do something that is going to benefit you and probably give you energy back?
Yeah.
That's like from my perspective, I'm literally, my life revolves around bodybuilding. I eat to a schedule, I train to a schedule. It has consumed my life for 8 years. There are days every week where I'm like, I can't be fucked going to this, but I have to do it because that's my identity has become, and that's what it's not a case of doing it. Is I'm going to do it no matter what, how I feel like shit. Like, people need to get this out of the head that you have to feel good to go to the gym. You don't. Like,
Just have to do
this
it
for a living. My goal is to be a professional bodybuilder. Like, I don't want to go to the gym all the time. Believe me.
I've had months where I don't want to fucking train.
Like, I've had a shit week with stress. I was literally up this morning. I'm working this morning since day before 4 o'clock. At 2 o'clock, the gym call was like, I can't believe I have to go to the fucking gym. I can't be fucked.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to go. Like, I went. Did not have a great session, but like as you said earlier on yourself, Dave, I went. Now that's ingrained in my conscience that I go no matter the emotion. It's not a choice. I don't sit there and go, I'm a bit tired and I'll just, do you know what, I'll go extra hard tomorrow. It's just go. You may be shit. It may be one of the best sessions. I'm sure we've all went to the gym really shit and then you just have this
Yeah, all the time, man.
Very nearly always, isn't it?
I just whack 6 kilos on my dumbbell press.
On top of the world, and the ones you feel on top of the world end up being the absolute worst.
Yeah. Grinding out an extra rep.
That's what it is.
Yeah. But I think you touched on it though, Gaz, it's identity, because like you don't see these things as extra efforts to have to be done. You do them because they're part of who you are. They're the standards you hold. And we've touched on this quite a bit ourselves. We won't go too deep on it. But that is what I see to be the main determinant of success. And the clients who in 6 and 12 months have not just kept progress, but kept progressing. It's because they've embraced that life. That is now who they are. And friction is low, effort is easy. You don't have to think about it. It just happens. And success then as a result is inevitable. You don't have to doubt it one bit.
Like to say that comparison is a thief of joy, I think that's bullshit. But I don't believe you should be looking at someone 15 pages ahead of your book and going, oh, I'm shit because they're doing better than me. But
Yeah.
what you can learn from them is, okay, what are they doing? Not what they've succeeded in. What are they doing today? Because what they're doing today is what I need to do today. Because if they're doing it at that level, I have to start doing it at my level.
Yeah,
So
100%.
copy the fucking habits of people. Don't copy what they look like. Copy if you want to be a bodybuilder and you're looking at bodybuilders and they're going to the gym every single fucking day, that's the habits that you need to build. They're eating the chicken and plain, they're boring chicken and rice every single day. That's the new habit that you now have to form. If you can't do that habit, then rid yourself of the want of the goal. Because you're already killing
effort gives results. Is it like you can't give 20% effort and expect 80% results? It's as simple as like.
Yeah.
Over to you, Dave. Take it away. I know there's one itching on the tip of your tongue there.
Yeah. Well, we have the environment one. It is in alignment with Gary's question. Then we'll see where you want to go after that. But Gary, just going back on, when you did start to make the change, I'm sure when you were going through the period of drinking and the partying, and it's completely different to what you're doing now. Me and Lee talked about either the environments and the people that you surround yourself with are in alignment with the outcome that you want and they're progressing you onwards, or they're trying to hold you back, right? So when you were starting to change, right, coming out of the session, maybe you were training back then, or maybe you weren't into it as much as you are now, but getting, moving towards the identity that you're in now. Socially, how was that for you, and with the environments that you were engaging with? Did you lose people? Did they come with you? Did they, try and hold you back? What was that experience like? Changing environments.
Horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. I love everybody who I grew up in Perth with. Like, I don't have a bad word to say about it. I think I've had the most amazing memories with everybody who grew up in Perth. But when I stopped drinking, my phone stopped ringing. And again, that's not that. Again, we go back to responsibility. That's also my responsibility, because I felt that we had nothing in common apart from drinking. So it's I can't just say, oh, that's their fault. That's my fault again. The effort was, maybe they felt the same with me. Shit, he doesn't really drink. I don't really understand the gym. Oh fuck, what do we do? Because again, at the end of the day, when I first 10 years ago, fitness and coaching wasn't what it was now. Like, I used to get shit for talking my stories by all the boys, bit of crack, bit of banter, but like, there's always going to be a break where people don't understand what you're doing. That's perfectly fine, because I was moving into a world that none of my social circle understood. And they had no. They were lads. We played soccer. We went drinking. That was our exercise. So I moved away from that, and I was now talking on my phone. And their experience of people talking on the phone was, back in the day, was like the wankster fucking influencers. So I was trying to be so in their head I was trying to be this fucking influencer, but in my head I was like, I just need to save myself. So it wasn't a case of, we just, and this is, I say this a lot, it's, you don't fall out with people, you outgrow people, and that's perfectly fine. And a lot of people are so afraid to outgrow people because they're afraid they won't ever speak to everybody ever again. Like, if I see anybody who I hung around in Perth for 10, 20, 15 years, they're getting the biggest hug in the whole entire world. I don't have a bad word to say about them. But we've just moved. Like, they've all family and kids. They're settled down. They're living their amazing life, the best that they can live their life. I'm over in fucking Thailand, living what I want to be my best in life. And that's perfectly fine. Worlds drift apart. But when you try to force these relationships, because they can't, two opposite things can't coexist. You can't be around people who are continuously telling you to go drinking because that's what they do. And it's painstaking and it's very lonely. You get these, I think Alex Hormozy and Chris Williams is talking about it, where there's phases through your life that you don't have the skill set to make any new friends, or the friends that you want to be, but you don't feel like you belong in the current friendship system that you have. So you have this weird center where it's like, where do I belong? And I think that's where a lot of people, a lot of men end up, is like, fuck, how do I make friends? Like what do I do? So it's like, fuck it, I don't want to be on my own. The option is just to go back and just go fucking drinking. Fuck it, what's the point? I just might as well go back drinking. And like, we have an epidemic of men's loneliness. And again, I'll go down to social media has made it worse because we don't connect. And like, I'm to the want of a better word, a recluse most days. I don't really interact with people. Not because I don't want it, it's just I work a lot, I don't have the energy. And because whatever I've went through, I protect my energy like the most. I have like 8 people in my life who live on 8 different countries. that who I just vibe and I connect with. So they're like my family now, and that's people who I connect with. And when I'm with people, if I feel like they're draining my energy, they're just not my people. So I don't want to interact with them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
100%.
you always have that people over. You're going to lose friends. You're not going to lose friends. Like I went home for a wedding, my best friend's wedding in July. I haven't seen the majority of my school friends in probably 6, 7, 8, maybe even 10 years. So it's no awkwardness. Big fucking hugs. We sat around having a couple of pints. A couple of nights out together. Absolute fucking great banter. There was none of this, oh shit, what do we talk about? Because you're still friends. Just because you don't talk every day doesn't mean you're not friends. And I think that's where people get this feeling, oh, if I stop talking to Joe, he's going to think I'm a dickhead. Well, if Joe thinks you're a dickhead, that's Joe.
100%.
He's the dickhead.
Yeah. I just want to touch on that
It is, but like,
before, I don't know what's up nextly, but I'm sure, well, all three of us definitely have, we didn't fall into health and fitness and coaching and stuff like that. That's a journey in itself, right? And if you've had the normal, so Gary, were your teenage years in Ireland or were they in Australia?
Ireland. So I finished college at 21 and I moved to Australia.
Okay, sweet. All right. So we all lived a similar Irish teenage years, right? But so when you're coming out of that, the people that you're drinking and partying with is different to the people that you meet in a business mentorship, to build your online health and fitness business is different to the gym people that you meet in for bodybuilding or for CrossFit. Is different to the friends that you make in your university degree, So relationships are formed in environments, right? It was just really cool, kind of one-liner. It's like your next love or your next friend is in the next environment that you go to. It's something like that, right? So the whole point that I'm making is that anyone that's listening is that even though there will be growing pains from the environments that you're coming from that you want to grow out from, if that's what you want to do, just know that you are potentially going to form valuable relationships and friendships in the next environment that you're going to go into anyway. Like Lee sending me a text message 4 weeks ago. You want to do a podcast? I was like, yeah, I always wanted to do that. I know it's the next step. I just didn't have the balls to do it. And now here's a great young man like Lee bringing out the best of me. You know what I mean? And Gary coming on the podcast and being vulnerable. Like, you're going to get growing pains, but good things are going to happen in the next environment that you have the courage to go to.
Oh, but that's what you have to. You have to follow the things you enjoy because that's where you have. Even like as soon as you jumped on, it's just bad to be. Without the podcast, you've got to chat here for the next last 2 years.
Yeah,
like
easy.
I've met you once.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the maddest thing. That's the maddest. In person, we met one time.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Because so like going to the places you already have so much in common with them people that you never had in common with the people that you think are your friends.
Yeah.
Like, and that's where they just keep going to things you enjoy, and you meet people who are on the same level as you.
And the OGs,
the people who are on the level with you.
Yeah, the OGs will stay with you, man. Like because I had growing pains coming out of certain environments. But I had raw and honest conversations with some people. The people that I really cared about, and they stayed with me, even though I was distant with them for a couple of years doing my thing. They were there and they welcomed me back with open arms because I wanted to keep those people with me. So it works both ways. Yeah.
That's what it is. I'm sorry, I'm not 20 years of age where I'm going to text you every day and ask you how you're doing.
Yeah.
Everybody's busy. People have families, kids. People have fucking businesses to fucking run. People who are fucking doing shit with life. When you come back to someone, you can sit down and pick up where you left off. That's a friend for life.
Yeah, honestly. And I think the big thing there is just like for me, because I probably didn't handle things as nice as you did, Dave, and I was going through that period. I just cut everyone off over the course of a weekend. I was like, that's it, gone. Now in hindsight, I didn't have to do it. I shouldn't have done it. I could have done it a lot better. I've since reconnected and held a hand up and said it. But the ones that have stuck is like the characteristics and traits, regardless of the environments we're in, the professions, because they're all different. I could tell you stories about what one of them is doing. He's a paleoclimatologist.
What?
That's as much as I know, right? Yeah. But like the traits and the characteristics are common. Like we all have the same sort of drive, ambition, but it's the understanding and support. And there's one guy in particular, he's been my best friend since I was like 12, I'd say. And like literally as close as you could be the whole way through school, still would be, and still are. And we had a chat a couple of years ago, and it was when I was finally starting to talk about all this shit that I would have went through back in school. And he told me he was going through the exact same stuff himself, up to pay the house. And I was like, oh fuck, we could have just told each other and probably not felt so alone, you know what I mean? Yeah. But again, it's that alignment though, isn't it? And it's I think that's the big thing, like you said, being too scared to lose people, being too scared to go off and be that person who maybe has to be on your own in that kind of limbo where you're not where you think you should be, but you know you're not, you don't need to be where you were. And that's scary because there's one of my clients, he's in that position himself.
My mum was terrified when I told her I was moving to Thailand. She was like, please Gary, don't be recluse. She's like, I know you don't like people. She's like, please talk to somebody. But that's...
Cue Django.
Yeah, but everybody who knows me, who's in my circle, knows what I'm like. And I'm not saying that it's a good trait to have. It's not as I'm saying, oh, you ignore people because that's what you do. Because it's not a nice trait to have. But I go into my moods where I get so much text messages and shit to do per day. At 7 o'clock, I'm just like, I just want to just watch Love Island, car crash TV, and just switch off.
Just switch off. 100%.
I'm sorry if I haven't texted you back. I will at some stage, but at the moment, I just want some brain dead TV.
It's a bodybuilder keeping all their calories, you know. What do you mean 10,000 steps?
Yeah, I just want brain dead TV, and everybody understands that. And it's like, cool. I'm checking in just to make sure you're okay. I'm super. Thanks for checking in, buddy.
Yeah. Talk to you next month.
Yeah, what is? But that's.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with that, though. I don't think there's anything wrong with that because, like, at the end of the day, I think it's better to be transparent and like that than be a grumpy fucker in someone's company because you don't want to be there.
Facts.
You know what I mean? That's because I'd be very similar as well. Like,
they know that at any moment I can just walk out and not say anything, and that's just Gaz.
Yeah, the Irish exit is what they call it.
Where's Gaz? He went toilet. I didn't. He went home.
and he did it halfway through a podcast as well.
Some things never change.
Classic Gaz.
Question for you guys. So obviously we've talked a lot on kind of like the transformation, the change you've gone through, not even just physically but mentally and personally. But like the success you have now, you've touched on it. But what has it actually cost you to get to where you are? And ultimately, like, what were the sacrifices? What did you miss out on? And what were the hard parts? Because I know there's a lot of guys listening that are on the beginning of their transformation, their journey.
It cost me everything. Honestly, everything. It cost me 8 years of my life. It cost me probably the guts of a relationship with my ex-partner. It cost me maybe friendships that I could have developed, but I was so concerned about building what I wanted to build. It cost me my sanity. It cost me everything that at one point I held dearly to me.
Would you have done it different if you, in hindsight?
I couldn't have.
That was the only way, like.
That's great to be able to say, though.
As much as I love to sit here and say, I would have loved the next one, but I wouldn't achieve what I've achieved. And anybody that's like, I said this briefly earlier, there are levels to this game. And you have to accept the shit that comes at every level. It's like dieting. You want to get to a bodybuilder stage, or you want to get lean, there's a level that you need to go to. If you're not willing to go to that, don't attempt it. So it's cost me like more than I ever thought it would cost me, to be quite honest with you. And to the point where if anybody said it to me, do they think they should go down that path, I would make them really think, are you really prepared to do or sacrifice what needs to be taken to get to the level that you think you want to do? Because I'm very open about everything I do. We hit some crazy numbers over the past year. I always swore to myself that when I hit 50 grand a month, I'm going to be so happy. Hit 50 grand. Not happened. 60 grand, fuck man, we hit 60 grand, I'm like, bah, yes. 70 grand, that's it. Fucking life's made. Again, none. I felt so lost because I had attached my success to a monetary value. And the thing, I think Chris, by the way, I love Chris Williamson. He was on a podcast with someone, and they're talking about people who say they'd rather cry in a Lamborghini than cry in a fucking Ford car. You're not, you're missing the point here totally. You're fucking crying.
Yeah.
And he says something that hit me hard. He says, what people have that he doesn't, he was like a multimillionaire, is you have hope that when you make money, your life will change. He's like, I don't have that hope anymore because I didn't. And
It's funny you mentioned
Valuable.
that because I hit that point when I was in the gym. We never touched the numbers you're talking on, but it got to a point where, because I live frugally enough, to be honest, so I had enough money for whatever I wanted. I was at my unhappiest after spending probably 3 years thinking when I hit that point, that's it. And that's actually, this is kind of my transparency, that's the struggle I'm having at the minute. Like everything we've done over the past year, moving to Australia, Thailand, business, like things, if I had told myself a year ago, I wouldn't have believed. I wouldn't have, yeah, that's the life, that's the dream you want. Can't say I've been any happier at any point over this past year. It's always just been the next thing. It's always been, right, well, this is grand. I'm still not happy. Well, sure, what's the next big thing we can do? You know what I mean?
To me, this year is, over the past 6 months, is trying to understand what my purpose is in life. And I know that sounds really
No, man, I'm all about it. I'm all about it, guys. Well done.
The last 2 months for me, I've been asking myself that exact same question.
So far.
Like, so clear, like up until I was 33, 34, maybe even 35, I was like a flashy fucker. I had countless money, did what the fuck I wanted to do, didn't care, because I always had cash. It was always, so when I go 35, I'm going to buy myself, my goal when 35 was to buy myself a Mercedes C63 AMG Black. It was like 290 grand. I was like, buying it, don't care. At 35, I was kind of transitioned into that, and I was like, I actually don't want it. Like, it's not going to make me happy. Like, I could have a Lamborghini sitting out the front, but I don't. I have a Honda fucking Yamaha. A fucking rent that cost me £5,000 a month.
That's me all over, man. Yeah.
But like, I'm not going to say happy because I don't believe anybody's happy. My goal in this year is to find peace. I like, and,
massive.
And everybody fucking talks about Thailand, this, that, and the other. Thailand is peace. I go to a little Thai store every Sunday night. On the way down, it's all Thai people with chicken skewers, cooking the barbecue, all the plastic chairs at the side of the road. And every Sunday I drive down and I just look around and I say, do you know what? I'm at peace.
Yeah. I can appreciate that.
I feel like this is, as mad as it sounds, this is where I belong.
But isn't it funny, because you're looking at them living truly the hardest of lives, right? And they're some of the happiest, kindest, nicest, most welcoming people you ever come across. The month I did in Bangkok, which is known to be a bit more kind of impersonal, and we were in a local neighborhood. We were the only white people there. Like, we got the first week I was there, everyone was looking at me. I was like, right, this is fucking a bit odd, like a bit awkward. But 2 weeks in, there was the traffic warden, old guy, couldn't speak a word of English. I had maybe 3 words of Thai. I would always make a mission to say hello, and then from week 2 onwards, he'd cross the road and give me a big hug every time I passed, multiple times a day.
They're different, but they prove that they have nothing and they enjoy life, and you're crying because you don't have a $4,000 iPhone. You think you've a hard life. Like, I was, during the wet season is pretty bad here. I was mopeding over to the gym in my fucking raincoat. It was horrendous, and I was sitting there and I was so pissed off and I was so angry. I was like, this is bollocks, man. I'm fuck Thailand. I'm fucking leaving Thailand. And I pull over a set of traffic lights, and there's a truck in front of me, a pickup truck, and there's about 74 lads crammed into the back of the pickup truck going to a building site. And I'm sitting there going, I'm complaining about the rain. Look at them. And like a backup, like a pickup truck, like a proper site where they put sand and gravel. That's rammed with people going to a building site to build houses for Westerners like myself. And I'm complaining because it's wet. I was like, get a fucking grip of yourself.
Perspective, man.
Get a grip of your fucking
perspective.
Self. Yeah, that's what life is about, perspective. Your problem now, someone who is in worse position would kill for the problems that you have in your life.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the truth.
What's the equation, lads? I'm sure you know the guy, Mo Godat. He was on the Diary of CEO there about a year ago, and he wrote a book called The Equation for Happy. And he has an amazing story. if you haven't come across Mo Gaudat, his story is that he lost his son. His son was like 12, 13 years old, and it was obviously very traumatic for him. And his son was just like, look, Dad, don't be unhappy type thing, like go live your life type thing. And he was just like, a 12, 13-year-old to say that's pretty powerful. In his book, and he shared on the podcast, is that it's not the event or the happening of anything that makes you happy or sad. It is how you see it, right? And the example that he gives is you're looking out your window and you want to go sunbathing and it starts raining. You're like, oh, it's raining. I was just about to go sunbathing, right? Now, if you flip the script, you're looking at the window and you're just about to water your garden and you've a massive garden and it starts raining and you're like, oh, it's raining, buzzing. So it's not the event, it's how you see it. It's your relationship with anything
Yeah,
that you're doing.
that's
That's all it is. And
I
that
love that.
expectation and reality, right? So if you manage your expectations, if reality is likely to be this, you can't expect that because the deficit or the surplus is going to cause disappointment, right? Or if reality is this and you get this, again, the outcome is going to be potential disappointment. So if reality is this and you stay present, or whatever you experience, you're grateful for that, then you're likely going to be happier than you would if you're leading with expectation. So it always come back to just stay present. Do whatever you need to do to stay present. You know what I mean? If it's raining and you're flashing rain, you've seen 74 boys going to work and you're in rain and you're like, it's raining. Except, you know what I mean?
You're living
Yeah,
in an island that people dream of going on holidays.
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Right, gents, I have a client call in 12 minutes. So, Lee, give us the close there, brother.
No problem at all. So we always like to ask this question to all our future guests, seeing as you're the first one, is if the world ended today or tomorrow, Gaz, what would you want to be remembered for? And what message would you want people to take from your life specifically?
As I kind of touched on earlier, I'd like to be remembered for at least changing a life. I'd like to someone to, even watching this podcast or listening to what happens, or who follows me on Instagram, that something I've said over the past 8 years has had a positive impact on them, and it has led to something that is life changing for them. Like, I know what it's like to be a rock bottom. I don't want anybody to be there. So that's my philosophy in life. If I can help, I'm going to help. I'm going to help the best I can, no matter what it takes me.
Yeah.
When you can have the
And
confidence,
do you,
you go, Lee. You go first.
no, just a kind of bit of a follow up from that one. And do you think that you're actually living in a way that now actually reflects this, or is there still work to do?
There's always work to do. I have a lot of self work to do. Every time I think I've fixed a problem, there are 10 problems in life. Like when you unpack, when you start, like again, like using therapy, and anybody who's been therapy understand that when you unpack one thing, 10 other things are popping up.
Yeah.
I'm still understanding who I am. And as wishy washy as it sounds, I don't know who I am. I thought I knew who I was, but it turns out I'm not that person. If you the mad thing is now, my best mate, the irony of it all, actually opened up a gym before I moved to Australia. You couldn't have fucking paid me to go to the fucking. He used to drag me in kicking and fucking screaming, and then when I went, I'd leave and there was a Chinese downstairs, and I'd go downstairs, get myself a bag of chicken balls and a 3-in-1 and go home.
That's like the fucking very first couple of PT sessions I did. What gym is it? What gym is it?
Well, was this in Ireland?
So
Yeah.
that's like, yeah, it was in Ireland, yeah. Before I moved there, he opened a brand new gym, Southgate Fitness in Drogheda. Fucking kitted out to the fucking max. Fucking unbelievable fucking gym. Yeah, I'll go. And then at the time, I used to actually smoke as well, so I'd be outside before I go in, having 2 quick fags. In I go, then out, well done.
A 3-in-1 is so close to being the goat of a Chinese order. You know what I mean? Add the crispy shredded chicken. You've got me.
That wasn't around when I was fucking Ireland. There's no crispy shredded chicken. That's a new thing.
Jesus, that's a long time ago.
When I came to Australia, I was like, we're going to Chinese. I was going, I'd order 3-in-1. They're like, what? I was like, 3-in-1. They're like, what's that? I was like, that's a Chinese. It's like chips, rice, sauce. They're like, what are you on
About
about?
300 grams of carbs, no protein.
Fucking happy days, happy days. So, Gaz, it was an absolute pleasure and very much appreciate the openness, the vulnerability, the insight. And I think for anyone who's listening, Gaz, you might for anyone who's connected with your story, wants to see more of what you're about, what you're doing, like where's the best place to find you? Where can they see where Gaz exists, essentially?
Probably see me rambling every day on Instagram, Gaz_Impact Physiques. I like to not sit on the fence about a lot of topics. Some people like them, some people don't. It's good fun.
The question boxes, I love your question boxes. There's one of them was like, why didn't you go have a hard chat with your overweight friend where he's getting on to you about something?
Are you worried about how the health effects of fucking steroids? Fuck off, dickhead. Yeah, of course I'm worried about it. I'm injecting shit in my fucking ass that could kill me. Of course I'm worried. Don't come chat to you like your fat mate about who's like on the brink of a heart attack before you start asking a stranger on the internet about the health. Are they worried about the health effects? Like, come on.
Well, at least you're honest, man. At least you're honest. You're not one of these trainers that are juicing up like and just totally dishonest about it. You know what I mean? Like,
my Instagram is bluntly honest.
Yeah, good.
To the point where I get abused from people. Well, hey, listen. I'm the same. You either love me or hate me. I'm the same to everybody.
Yeah, it's the fucking way to be. And on that bombshell, we will end the show.
Pleasure. Thank you so much. It's been amazing.
Yeah, just a very quick one.
Guys, don't leave just yet.
Don't leave. Gary, I do just want to say,
Go
man,
for it,
that,
Dave.
you know, for a man who just wants to be remembered of changing one life, you can nearly be guaranteed that you may have changed more than one in the last hour. Do you know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
this is exactly what me and Lee wanted. We wanted to normalize such conversations for men worldwide, in Ireland, in Australia, in Thailand, wherever people are listening, man. You've been our first guest, man, and you've absolutely smashed that out of the park by being brave enough to talk about those things. So honestly, from the bottom of my heart, man, thank you very much. I'm sure there's some guy listening to it in his car today, tomorrow, or 5 years from now, but you've helped him. You know what I mean? So thank you for them. Yeah, man, very grateful. And we should have another chat with you in a year's time, man, and catch up with you. See if you've done what you said you were going to do this year, find your purpose, and do a bit of soul searching. That'd be another great one.
I took a bit of time off.
Yeah. Thanks.
I plan to take 2 weeks off, but fucking you happen to have a fucking war in the middle of fucking East. That can't.
I'll let you know when it's over.
I wouldn't consider it of them.